All right, welcome Hardrocker fans. We'll get this lunch started today. Lots of things to go over. We're kind of on the home stretch of basketball season, and I know we have a lot of people in this room to acknowledge because we have some Hardrockers that have really outdone themselves, so we need to talk about them a little bit. A couple announcements. Thanks to Pizza Ranch for hosting this here. It's always a fan favorite. I think it's because we get to go to the buffet like 3 and 4 and 5 times, right? That's what we like. So anyway, tomorrow night at Buffalo Wild Wings, we're going to have a football signing party. So come out to that. They'll have a menu. It's at 6:30 p.m. Okay, and then they'll announce all the signing of the football players, and Coach Fuller will talk a little bit. So if you guys can come out and partake in that, we'd love to see you. And again, that's tomorrow night already on Wednesday. Jeep Raffle, I know we're getting to the point where I'm not going to be able to talk about this anymore, but this is good news. We've sold 886 tickets. So this is a great way to support our scholarships efforts here at School of Mines. So only 113 left, so if you haven't gotten them, please do so now. We have basketball. We had a 4-game sweep this weekend, and the coaches are probably it, but that's a great deal, you guys. Give them a round of applause. When they go on the road and we bring home 4 wins, that's a super weekend. So very proud of the basketball teams. We have some academic All-Americans, defensive player of the week, and we have some 1,000-point scorers that I'm going to let the coaches talk about. Next week we'll be at Arrowhead Country Club at 11:30 a.m. next Tuesday, so come and see our coaches luncheon next week. But with that being said, I'm going to have Steve come up and talk.
All right, yeah, so we were up at Black Hills State last weekend again. This was a Merle Hansen invite, and it's a pretty good meet overall. We had 20 top 5 finishes. We had I think 13 PRs and one event winner and 1 provisional qualifying mark. So we just kind of run through it here as best I can. We did some things a little bit different. I mentioned that last week at B-Dubs that we were going to do things a little bit differently. So one of the things we did this week was we doubled a lot of our distance runners, meaning they ran 2 races. It's really kind of a hard thing, so we don't do it very often with our distance runners to run 2 distance races in the span of about an hour to an hour and a half, and to run them both well. And but this was an opportunity for us to kind of shake things up. We saw some really good things. Joel Haas came out. He hasn't run. He's a junior for us. Hasn't run a mile since I think his freshman year, and PR'd by like 6 seconds in the mile. In the middle of a 15-mile day. It was actually supposed to be his long run, and he convinced me to let him race. Then he came back to the 3K and almost set a PR there too. Melissa Frankie, one of our freshmen, came out, and she had a phenomenal day with the double as well. Set a lifetime best in a mile, and then followed that up with a great 3K debut. So really excited with the way that our kids handled those things. Ryan Moen finished 2nd in the 3K for us. I told him, he was telling me yesterday he was kind of upset about how right I was. I told him he had to go under 9 if he wanted to beat the kid from Rocky. Well, the kid from Rocky won it at 9 flat .1. Ryan ran 9 flat .6. So, you know, it was close. Then in the field events, we saw Morgan Thompson get her first collegiate win. She won the high jump with a collegiate PR of 1.57, so basically 5'2", and she did that about 10 minutes after she finished taking all 6 of her triple jump attempts in the space of about 25 minutes, which is really hard to do. Think about doing 6 30-meter sprints, bound 3 times at the end of each of them, land in the pit, do it all over again 6 times, and then step over and high jump 4 times. You have some idea how tired she got to be after that. So really good performance there. I think the bulk of our PRs, though, came from the throwers. That's why I brought a couple of them with me today, so I'll have them come up here in just a minute. But saw several PRs in the weight throw again. You guys can correct me if I miss any, but I know we had Reed Kaiser and Warren Minerich. And in the weight throw, we had a couple PRs in the shot as well. Jayla was second in the weight throw. I told you about her back and forth with Makayla Shaklee from Black Hills State. I believe they're still sitting 1-2 in the conference. Kyla just came out and just ripped one on Saturday. So she got the better of this one, but I know Jayla's going to come back with another. But let me see that thing you got hiding under the table there real quick, Jayla. So everybody's always wondering what a weight is. This is the weight, okay? This is the women's, so this one's only 20 pounds. The men's is actually 35 pounds. Okay? They're going to spin it in the circle, what, about 3 times? And just let it fly. And then they have to keep it in a sector that's about 45 degrees wide. And so you got to spin as fast as you can and let it rip and see if you can get it right down the middle, ideally. And so that's what these two guys do. Go ahead and come on up here. We've got a couple of our seniors here. These are 2 of the hardest working kids in our program right here. We've got Siebdrath and Jayla Jarnagin, and the 2 of them have just progressed a long ways over their time here. So I'm going to kind of let them take over here.
As Coach said, I'm Wes. I'm 5th year senior. I'm originally from California. Moved out here to go to mines, and I love the hills, so I plan on staying around here.
I'm Jayla, also a 5th year senior. I'm from Eaton, Colorado, studying chemical engineering. Not sure where I'm going to be. Going to the career fair today. Yeah, we've been having a good couple of weeks with the throws. I think Coach Miss Jen and Siler had a PR in shot put, and then Lindy had a PR in weight throw. So we've been doing some good things.
Yeah, the conference is pretty good this year for the throws, and we're right up in the mix. So hopefully we can score some points here indoor, and then take that into outdoor and see where we can go.
How do you throw those things indoors?
Well, that's why it's a little shorter. It doesn't go as far inside, but when you go outdoors, the hammer is 3 feet long, so
And a lot lighter.
and a lot lighter.
There's a lot of heads up when we're throwing.
How long have you been throwing and what got you started in throwing?
I've been throwing shot put since middle school, but most high schools don't have the hammer throw and the weight throw, so just got to college and ready to try something new, I guess.
Tell them what else you were doing when you got here.
I was originally recruited to be a multi. That was a nightmare. I remember doing a sprinting practice and Coach Hicker was like, "You hurt?" And I was like, "No, this is just hard."
When she came out of high school, she was a sprinter, vaulter, and shot putter.
Wow.
I started out as a thrower, and I've always been a thrower. I don't plan on changing.
Other questions? All right, thanks guys. Just real quick, give you just your nationals update. Erica Keeble did not compete this last weekend. We're holding her out. We're actually waiting on word today, hopefully, whether or not she gets into a meet in Nebraska. If she doesn't, then she'll go with some of our sprinters and throwers up to Mankato this weekend. If she does get into the meet at Nebraska, though, that'll be a real good opportunity for her. It sets up a lot like the national meet will be for her, so it's a good dry run for her to get to go do that if we can get her in. Trying to get Scully in there as well. She's still just right on the verge of getting that national qualifying mark. Finished second again this last weekend. And Jayla is, as of when I looked 5 minutes ago, she's 20th on the national list by 7 centimeters, and for those of you that are like me and a little metrically challenged, that's 3 inches. So she's right there on the edge, and we just gotta keep spinning faster and put that ball out there. Any questions for me? All right, thank you.
Hi everybody. First of all, I'm very impressed when I watch hammer throws and weighted throws. I worked at track meet one time and it was like, you always have to be watching the thrower no matter where you are, don't turn your back. But everybody at the meet I worked, they all kept it in the little 45-degree angle, so very impressive. Good job, guys. Like Marie mentioned, we had a great weekend. It's always fun when both teams come out with 2 wins when we're on the road. And obviously a lot of stuff happened this weekend. First and foremost, Cooper Courtney family and Naomi Hidalgo family, congrats, champions. Huge Chiefs fans, so Sunday was a big day for them. We were in the locker room yesterday and we were going over all the different awards that we got over the weekend, and Cooper goes, Coach, I think you forgot one. I was like, oh, yeah, sorry, congrats, guys. So, and then in terms of, I'll talk about our games really quick. The Metro game, they're a very tough team, very well-coached team. Played phenomenal defense on us. We had a very hard time scoring the ball, and I believe we were down by at least 12 to start the third quarter. And you know, we talked at halftime about the things we needed to clean up and that we needed to battle and just keep fighting, keep being aggressive, keep having an attack mentality, and those shots were going to go in because I know we have talented offensive players. And about halfway through the third quarter, we went on a little run and we didn't slow down from there. Got a nice 6-point lead in the fourth quarter. Shots finally went in. I think we hit 4 or 5 threes in that quarter, which definitely helps when you're trying to get out of a hole. But very proud of the way our kids battled, and then very proud of the way we kept that 6-point lead. We controlled the pace of the game the last couple minutes, and that's something that we've been working on. Extremely proud of their efforts. During that game, Sammy Stefik hit the 1,000-point career mark, so that was exciting. She had 15 in the game, and I've never been more thankful for at least 6 of those, because those were 2 of the 3s that she hit almost back to back that kind of sent us on our run. So very proud of her. It's an awesome accomplishment to get, and you know, we were thankful it happened Friday night. Moving on to the next game, Chadron State. They have some very talented players, so we knew we couldn't just walk on the floor and win. We knew we still had to bring it. It was kind of a weird game, but like I told the girls at the end, I said, a win's a win, whether it's pretty or ugly. So I was like, we're just going to move on from there and focus on next week. So excited we went 2-0 on the weekend. We've had a really good couple weekends on the road. Hopefully we can put that all together for you guys this Friday and Saturday. I was teasing them. I was like, man, apparently we play better on the road, but not at home. I was like, I don't know if it's because you guys have to go to class or what, but like I said, hopefully we keep that rolling, and we're sitting in a good spot in terms of the RMAC standings. We're 8 right now, and the top 8 go to playoffs. So we just got to keep controlling what we can control, and we'll be just fine. Some of the other awards from the weekend: Anna Haugen averaged double-doubles in both games, and she was awarded Defensive Player of the Week. She also had 10 steals over the weekend, 6 of them, I believe, in the Metro game. She played phenomenal defense for us. She always does. We know no matter who we're playing or what we're doing, Anna's going to bring 120%. We never have to question her effort, so very proud of her for getting that award. She's very, very deserving. And then off the court, we had some RMAC first team all academic players in Anna Haugen and Ryan Weiss. In order to get that, you have to have a GPA of 3.3 or above, and those 2 are well above that. Anna even graduated in December, and she's in grad school right now, so nice accomplishment for her and Ryan. And then we had 3 players on the honor roll for the RMAC, which is the same thing, 3.3 or above. And those 3 were Sammy Stefik, Melissa Johnstone, and then Makayla Shaklee, who I brought to talk to you guys today. Talk a little bit about Michaela. She is the player that, it might not show up in stats, but she's an absolute game changer for us. She brings a phenomenal defensive effort. She rebounds hard. She does all the little things that, like I said, they don't show up in the stat sheet, but for us, it's huge. And she's been playing extremely well lately. We usually put her on their best player, and normally don't have any fear that she's going to guard her very well, and she's done a very good job of that. Lots of hustle plays. In Metro, she hit a big 3 for us, besides just her great defense. During that run, she hit one in the corner. She's done that a couple times now. Colorado Christian game, she had that too. So extremely proud of the way Michaela's playing. Can't wait to see her continue to do it for us. And like I said, she's a huge part of our success right now, even though some people might not notice. But when you watch, you'll see Michaela, she's always on the ground, she's always crashing, and she's playing phenomenal defense. So, with that said, I'm going to have her come up and talk a little bit about herself and the season.
Hi, like Coach Jay said, I'm Makayla Shaklee. I'm a junior. I'm from Arvada, Colorado, and I'm majoring in applied biological sciences with a minor in chemistry. Yeah, like Coach said, their season's been going really well. We're on 5 in a row now, 4 of those coming from the past 2 weekends on the road. Metro was a tough one. We've never won at Metro, and we knew that they weren't going to just hand it to us. We were fighting for that 8th spot. And although the ref at the tip really just tried to give them the ball, I mean, he threw it like way over here. Somehow we got the ball, and it kind of started really slow, but we kept battling. We've always kind of been a third quarter team, and that really showed. And we're just like, guys, we're not going to go into overtime. We've had way too many overtime games this season. And so I'm just really proud of how we played. Sammy had a great game. Anna had a great game, and kind of rolled into the first half of Shattered, not so much the second half. We kind of slowed down a little bit, but like Coach said, a win's a win. And we're just really excited to play Pueblo and New Mexico Highlands and hopefully keep our win streak alive, and just kind of hope some things happen in the standings and that we can still go to playoffs, because I like playing with Anna and Sammy and all them, and I don't want it to end, so I'm just trying to do my best to keep us alive. So. Any questions from you?
You have an interim job this summer?
No, I am hopefully getting shoulder surgery after the season, so we will be working on rehabbing that this summer and getting ready for my senior year.
Any other questions for either Shaq or myself? Alrighty, we'll see you guys this weekend. Thank you. Go Raffle.
Well, first of all, congratulations to the women. They keep putting pressure on us on the road, so we've got to hold up our end of the deal. Fortunately, we both were able to take separate buses, because I think they always heard something about if we lose it on the road again, they were going to make us walk. So, but no, they've been doing a heck of a job, and it's really exciting to see the way that they're playing and coming together. And we got to get this back at the school, because I want to see some of these highlights again of these tracksters and the great things that they're doing as well. I really enjoy watching what you guys do. So, congrats on what you've done so far in the indoor circuit here. Yeah, for us coming in this last weekend, our previous 2 Friday road games, we had faced teams that we were in a pretty tight battle with. Very similar records and stuff. Regis was one, Colorado Pueblo was the other. And in both games, across the board, I don't think any of us felt like we really put forth our best performance. Effort was probably there, but the performance-wise, we just didn't play that great of basketball. And so I think going into this week, that was one of the things we said, listen, we've got to come off on that Friday night and set a tone and really have a really good performance. And whether we win or lose, we don't necessarily always control that, but we want to make sure that what we can control, we feel good about what we've done. And going into the Metro game, again, very similar team as we are. They really protect the paint. If you look at their scores, they're very low-scoring games. Not many teams that broke 70 against them through the conference season. And so 2 things that we talked about going into it. Number 1, we needed to protect the paint at our end and make them shoot and make shots. And number 2, we knew we were going to have to go in and we were going to have to make shots because they weren't going to make it easy in the paint. And they were really going to pack it in on us. And guys like Logan here that I brought with me are a big reason for that. And so what ended up happening, I did not expect at all. Obviously, we did a great job of protecting the paint on our end. In the first half, they actually messed up the score and gave them 2 extra points. We kept telling them, and they finally said, well, we'll have to fix it at halftime. So we go into halftime, and I think we're up 41-27, is that right? Yeah, 41-27, and Coach T kept telling me, they got 25, Coach, they got 25. I said, I know, they're gonna fix it. So we come out of the locker room and there's 27 still there, and he goes, that's not right, they're still got the 27 on there. Well, as soon as we came out of the locker room, they said, well, we have to wait for the officials, we're gonna change it, they're right. So they went, took the 27 off the board and put it to 25. Well, they didn't get to 27 until the 11-minute mark in the second half. Just a lot of that was, we did a great job of protecting the lanes. We always talk about that, we're not going to stop people from shooting the basketball. That's nearly impossible. But we got to get them to shoot the shots that we want them to shoot. And I just thought we did a tremendous job with that. Did I think that they were going to miss that many throughout the game? No. I mean, they're a little bit better shooting team than what that night showed. It was kind of a perfect storm for us, which was great to be on the side that we were. And at one time, I think the score was 70-27. And so it was just a tremendous performance from our guys, and obviously we hit shots. We were 13 for 28 from the three-point line. So, we really did the two things that we wanted to do, and like I said, and then they kind of helped us out a little bit on their end. Once the shots weren't falling and we were hitting shots, I think, you could just see that they were tightening up a little bit, and each time they shot it was just a little bit more uneasy and stuff. And so the next time that we play, it'll be the same thing. I guarantee you they'll probably hit some shots, and it'll be a little bit more of a war going into it. But it sure was nice to go into their place where we've kind of taken some butt kickings over the years, and to be able to go in there and kind of give them one ourselves felt really good. So heading back up to Shattern, obviously it's 4.5 hours. We get in at about 2 a.m. in Shattern, Nebraska, and crawl in our hotel beds and try to get some rest and stuff and get ready for really a scrappy Shattern State team. Shattern is really offensively is a really dangerous offensive team. They've been scoring up and around the 80s. I think they're averaging 78 a game in conference. They did hit the 80 mark quite a few times. They actually had Colorado School of Mines down 15 at halftime down at Mines, which you just don't do very often. And so, from an offensive standpoint, they could put the ball in the hole. One thing we knew, we felt like we really had some mismatches offensively. We thought we could have a really good offensive night against them. And I think one of those things is I brought obviously Allec here with me. And Allec obviously has been with us. This is his second year, and he's come to us via Metro State. And so going into the Metro game, he told me, he says, Coach, I'm 2 points away from 1,000 here, 1,000 points with a combination of his time at Metro and there. And so he gets done and he has 1,000, and I told him, I said, no, you don't have 1,000 yet because the 32 he scored against us when he was at Metro doesn't count. So I said, you still need another 27. And so sure enough, next time he gets Shattered, he got the 27. So he's at 1,000 now. Okay? So, but he had obviously a tremendous performance, and our goal though wasn't really to go through the point guard, although he had a great game. Our goal was to really go inside against him. We knew we had two great mismatches in Mitch Suker and Logan here in the paint, and that's exactly what we did. We pounded and pounded. We were like a football team that all they do is run the ball, and we just basically just took it at them in the paint continually over and over. And obviously had great success scoring it, but also went to the free throw line an awful lot. And then when there was opportunities, they would try to double. We kicked it out and we knocked down shots. We didn't shoot a lot of threes. We only shot 16, but we were pretty efficient when we did shoot them on the kickouts from the post. So we were really happy with the way that performance ended. Like I said, they were hanging. They were a tough team to shake. I think probably the biggest thing that we're taking away from, and these guys are going to see it today when we get practice tonight, is that we got to rebound the ball better. If we actually rebounded the ball better, it probably is not a game. We do pull away from them, and so that's something we got to kind of clean up and do a better job. We're the second right now. We're sitting second in the league in defensive rebounding, and we didn't really show that this weekend 100% all the way through. So there's always something you can take from a game, win or lose, that you can improve upon, and that's going to be our big thing this week. And then we'll try not to let anything else slip and go. We're a lot like where the women are. We're right there. We put ourselves in a great position. We're heading into that second turn of kind of, I guess, our side of the conference where we're going to play everybody a second time now. And so we really like the position we're in. And, but we can only control what we do. And we're just going to take it one game at a time. Our focus is going to be a little bit of Highlands because we play them Saturday night. And then coming Thursday on through Friday, we're really thinking about Pueblo. And that's all we can think about right now, not worry about what anybody else does and those kind of things, and just take it one game at a time. The bottom line is you just got to collect as many wins as you can from here on out, and then you can only do that by going one game at a time. So that's really what we're thinking about. So that being said, any questions about the weekend before I get these two guys up here? All right, so Allec, go ahead and stand up here. Like I said, you know, I guess scoring 1,000 points is a big deal. I never did it. My wife tells me it's a big deal because she's done it twice in her life. But to Allec here, obviously it is quite an accomplishment, and to be able to come into a new program like he did, you know, transfer into your junior year, you always have that transition period, and I would say that his first semester was probably, even he would say it was kind of lackluster, you know, trying to feel his way through a little bit and stuff, and then playing extremely well after Christmas, and just really playing like a first-team all-conference player, and then have an unfortunate injury to end his season and not be able to finish out the season, and then to come out again this year. And I would say he was a little anxious, again, coming back off the injury. He was excited to get back on the floor. Probably didn't get the best start that he would have liked, and we would have liked. Not that he played terrible, but we know what he's very capable of. And then all of a sudden, he's kind of hit his stride. And to be able to reach this milestone is quite a feather in his cap. And I think is also his teammates have done a great job, because he probably wouldn't have as many lanes to get to the basket if he didn't have the shooters around him. And you know, I think Logan, what the Shadow coach say that you were 310. You know, it says 310 pounds, and I don't know. If you got a 310 pounder setting kicks for you, you're going to get to the basket a lot. But so no, I know Allec is a team player through and through, and I know he appreciates everything his teammates does, and he knows he wouldn't be able to reach without. But I'll let him say a few words here, and then we'll get Logan up here next.
I'm Allec Williams. I'm from Albany, Georgia. I'm a senior. I'm majoring in business management and technology. And I was just excited to get the win over Metro, because I came from Metro, so it was very personal. And the Siebdrath game, I got hurt against Siebdrath last year, so that was also personal. So,
is that why the dunk at half was so?
The dunk at half came from someone when I got a steal early in the game, and I kind of lost it off my knee.
Yeah. And
I was running back down the court, and some players with some fans on the side were kind of like chirping with me. And usually I don't dunk with people anywhere around me because I don't like getting hurt. So I don't weigh enough to just take contact. So they were chirping. They kind of pissed me off. So at the end of the half, I was like, so when I got to the lane, I was like, all right, I'm going to dunk this one. That's kind of how that one went. Any questions?
All right. Logan, come on up here. It's been a big couple days for Logan. On Saturday night, Logan also eclipsed the 1,000 point mark, and he also eclipsed the 500 rebound mark, which is a really good number to hit for rebounding. And so we're pretty excited for him to reach that. And then obviously, if you haven't seen the press release, I think it just came out today, or yesterday, that he was selected as the Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference Academic Player of the Year as well, which is excellent. And so with that also, we also had Mitch Suker was first team All-RMAC, All-Academic, okay, and then we had 5 other guys also make the honor roll, and that was Jack Fiddler, Tristan Bonita, Troy Brady, Damani Hayes, and Trey Smith as well. So, you know, obviously we always talk about this, that we get to work with scholar athletes, and these guys obviously prove that, you know, they're more than just basketball players here. They're obviously taking tremendously hard classes, working towards great degrees, and excelling, not just doing it, but excelling in those areas. And so for us to have 7 guys out of 13 on that is very, very impressive, I think, for the type of classes that these guys have to take every year. So with that said, you got any words for them?
I'll just do the main thing. My name is Logan Elers from Rotorua, New Zealand. I'm studying my degree in metallurgical engineering. After I graduate this semester, I'm going to be staying another year. I'm going to be doing my materials engineering and science masters. So I obviously love this place a little bit too much, so I'm staying for another one. I just want to say I'm going to take half the credit for Allec's dunk. I always want to hit the screen to get him open. So that's half of my dunk too. And I'm not close to 310. Whatever the coach did, that's I put on a bit of weight, but I'm not that heavy. No, it was a good weekend for us. Obviously, to get that one for Allec Metro was really big. To kind of get the no shot was really fun, and you just see everyone on the sideline was just having fun. Even Zach and Logan got in the game at the end, and that was just fun for us watching them play. So, and then that shadow run, like Coach said, it was a grind, and it was basically with them the whole game until the end, and we finally finished out the game. So, with that, I'm just gonna ask for any questions.
What did you do to your foot?
I am currently in a boot. It's not as bad as it looks. I've been working with the trainer. Kind of got some foot and some calf issues right now, so kind of take some stress off my foot during the week, and then hopefully be ready to go by Friday and Saturday. So, any more? Yes.
Yeah. How do you compare the game here versus New Zealand?
So
recognizing that you didn't play college there.
On that, there really isn't any opportunity to play college back in New Zealand. There are universities, but there's not really a league or any competitive league. The biggest thing for me stepping up here is, obviously I'm gonna say the guys are bigger, guys are faster, guys are stronger. I was the tallest guy on the court back home in New Zealand. I was also probably one of the most skilled. I also played guard in high school. It's just, right now, everyone that plays, or everyone that you come against, they've all been that guy in their kind of high school. So obviously it's a step up, and it took me probably that whole freshman year to kind of realize it. I was lucky enough to play with some great guys. But yeah, just the whole step up with the speed and the kind of the physicality was a big one. Any more questions? No, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. We're very excited to be home. Now we've had 4 straight on the road. Now we get to have 4 straight at home. Really excited to be able to do that. Look forward to having everybody pack the King Center, make a lot of noise. Obviously, big games all the way through till the end here. So we look forward to you guys supporting us once again like you always have been. So appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Okay, just a couple thank yous. Thanks to all the student athletes for taking time out of your schedules to come talk to us, because I do think, even though the coaches are fun to hear, we really like to hear from you guys and what you guys are all about, and see your true personality come out when you get in front of us and talk. Tomorrow night, Buffalo Wild Wings, please don't forget. Most of you know my coach when I played at School of Mines, Barb Felderman, and she always said to be a competitor you have to have the eye of the tiger. And I believe that to be true in any sport, but being able to see the basketball, whether it be on the road or in person, you know, once you believe in the system, you believe in your coach, and you believe in each other, that's when it all comes together and success comes. And it's really been fun to watch this year evolve, because I'm seeing that in both teams, and I truly believe like the sky's the limit with our teams right now. So come this weekend, support, and can't wait to give you guys some high fives when we hit some threes and some dunks out. Okay? Thank you guys. Have a good day.